Hello guys, welcome to another video of class 10 physics first chapter light reflection and refraction, and this is the second lecture. So let's move ahead. So we can see that these are the contents of that we are going to study today. So first one is image formation by a concave mirror, second one is image formation by a convex mirror, third one is sign conventions, next is mirror formula, fourth one is linear magnification, identification of mirrors, refraction of light, causes of refraction, refraction through a glass slab, laws of refraction, refractive index, and speed, principle of reversibility of light. So let's move ahead. Image formation by a concave mirror. So there are 6 cases of this image formation by a concave mirror. So let's move ahead. So first one is at infinity. When an object is placed at infinity, then the image formation of of the object is at focus of the mirror. Okay, it means the position of the image is at focus of the or in the focal plane. Okay, and its nature is real and inverted, and size is extremely diminished in size. Okay, second case is beyond the center of curvature but at infinite distance. So when an object is placed at infinite distance but behind the center of curvature, then the position of the image is between focus and the center of curvature. Okay, and its nature is real, inverted, and diminished. So third case is at the center of curvature. When an object is placed at center of curvature, then then the position of its image is at the center of curvature itself. It means when an object is placed at center of curvature, then the reflection of that object is at same center of or at center of curvature but at the downside. Okay, at opposite side. And and the object and the nature and size is real, inverted, and same size as that of object. And fourth case is between focus and center of curvature. So when an object is placed between focus and center of curvature, this is center of curvature and this is focus. So when it is placed in between center of curvature and focus, then the position of the image is beyond the center of curvature. It means the image lies behind the center of curvature. Okay, it means AB is the image AB is the object, and A dash B dash is the image which lies behind the center of curvature. And about its nature and size is that its nature is real, inverted, and the size is bigger than object. It means the object is formed the image is formed bigger than the object. Okay, and in the third case we have studied that it is of same size. Okay, but real and inverted. Okay, so let's move to fifth case. At the focus, when an object is placed at focus, then its image in position of image is at infinity. It means the reflection is at infinite point. Okay, and the object is formed at infinite point. And about its nature, it is real, inverted, and size of image is extremely magnified. It means the image is extremely magnified and the size is bigger than extremely bigger than the object. Okay, and the sixth one and last one is that between the pole and focus. Okay, when an object is placed between focus and pole, then the image is formed behind the mirror at any point. Okay, behind the mirror but at finite distance, and its nature is virtual and direct, and its size is magnified. Okay, let's move to image formation by a convex mirror. So there are only 2 cases of this image formation by a convex mirror. So first one is at infinity. When an object is placed at infinity, then its image is formed at the focus or principal focus behind the mirror. Okay, not on the same side behind but behind the mirror. We can see this in the figure that its image is formed at this point focus that in the behind the mirror. Okay, this is the non-reflecting side, this is reflecting side. When an object, this is the object at infinity, when this get reflected in this direction, but when extended from backwards it meet at the focus. Okay, we have studied in the previous lecture. Okay, now the nature is virtual, erect, and size is extremely diminished. And the second case is between infinity and pole. When an object is placed between infinite distance and or the infinity and between the pole, then the image formed is between the pole and the focus principal focus behind the mirror. And its nature is virtual and erect, and size is diminished, not extremely diminished. Okay, so let's move ahead. Sign convention. Okay, we are going to start the sign convention. So now the sign conventions are nothing but some set of rules which are used to calculate the answers or the which are used to calculate the solutions of the questions. Okay, so the first one is the object is always placed at the left of the mirror. Okay, so if we draw up object, if we draw a mirror, so this is the mirror. Okay, this is the mirror, and this is the principal focus. Okay, sorry, it is the principal, it is the principal axis. Okay, this is the principal axis, this is the mirror. The object is placed to the left of the mirror, always left of the mirror. It means if this is the object, if this is the mirror, then the object is always placed in this side. Okay, it is the left side, it is left side, and it is left and it is right. Okay, so the object is always placed at the left. Okay, not at the right. And the second one is all distances parallel to principal axis are measured from pole of the mirror. Okay, all distances parallel to principal axis, it means if this is the distance. Okay, let this be x distance. Okay, this is the x distance, then we should measure it from this point. Okay, this is the pole of that mirror. Okay, this is pole, so we should measure this distance x from this point, that is pole to at this point A. Okay, let this be A, so we should measure it from P to A. Okay, so PA is equals to x. Okay, so PA is equals to x distance. Now the second one is distance to the left of the mirror. Okay, so the distance, let me erase this first. We should not require this. Okay, so third one is distance to the left of the pole are negative. Okay, distance to the left of the pole, it means this is the, let me extend this in this direction also, and this is left of the mirror and this is right of the mirror. Okay, this is left of the mirror, this is right of the mirror. So distances to the left of the pole or negative axis, this is the negative axis and this is the positive axis, x axis. Okay, this is positive axis and this is negative axis. Okay, all the distances to the left of the pole are negative. It means if we measure this distance P to A, it is x, and if we write in terms of sign conventions, then PA must be, it means PA must be negative x, it means minus x. Okay, we should write it as minus x. And distances to the right of the pole are positive. Okay, if we put an object, okay, so from this is pole and this is this, let this be A dash. Okay, so the distance this from this P to A dash, so this is the distance P to A dash, let this be y. Okay, so the distance from the pole of the mirror to the right side of the mirror, so it means PA dash. Okay, PA dash is can be termed as, okay, sorry, it is PA dash. Okay, PA dash is equals to positive y. Okay, or we can say that it, let this be y equals to x. Okay, let this be also x, so it becomes, that is equals to plus x. Okay, so if we measure it from left side, it is minus x, and if we measure it from right side, it is positive x. Okay, so the third one is completed. Now let's move to fourth one, distances measured perpendicularly above the principal axis. Okay, let me erase this all. The distances measured perpendicularly above the principal axis are taken as positive. Okay, so let this be the mirror of, or concave mirror. Okay, this is the concave mirror, we can say that this is a concave mirror, and this is the principal axis. Okay, this is the principal axis. Okay, and this is the pole, we should note that this is the pole. Okay, this is the pole. Distances measured perpendicularly above the principal axis, this is the principal axis or the x axis. Okay, so distances perpendicularly above axis along y axis, it means this is the y axis. Let me write this to remember. Okay, so this is our y axis and this is our x axis. Okay, this is our x axis, so this is y axis, this is x axis. The distances perpendicularly above the principal axis, so let this be object. that is AB. Okay, this be A and this let be B. Okay, so AB is an object, so we how we can measure it. So if this is 1.5 centimeter, okay, 1.5 centimeters, then we will write it as AB equals to positive 1.5, okay, or plus 1.5, or we can simply write it as 1.5, okay, or we can simply write it as 1.5. And if same object is placed below the principal axis, what it means, let this be A dash, okay. So distances are taken as along the above perpendicularly above the principal axis are taken as positive, and second, third, so fifth one is distances measured perpendicularly below, it is below the principal axis, are taken as negative. It means we will let this be also 1.5 as it is same size, okay, this be 1.5 centimeters. So it means A dash B, okay, A dash B equals to minus 1.5, okay, we should write it as minus 1.5, okay. So distances measured perpendicularly above the principal axis, this is the case that third case, distances measured perpendicularly above the principal axis are taken as positive and the below is negative, okay. So A dash B equal to minus 1.5 and AB equals to 1.5. And what is, let me check the last one, okay. Focal length of a concave convex mirror is positive, whereas focal length of concave mirror is negative. It is the main point, okay, it is the important point, we should note it, that f of convex mirror, okay, convex mirror, okay, simply okay, I have written it in short form. So focal length of convex mirror is always positive, okay, this is the positive sign, okay, always positive. And focal length of a concave mirror, okay, concave mirror is always negative, okay. So this last point is the important point, okay, that is focal length of convex mirror is positive and focal length of concave mirror is negative, okay. Let's move to mirror formula. So the distance of the object from its pole is called object distance, and let me check this one, okay, this is the image and this is the principal axis. So the distance of the object from its pole, okay, let this be an object, okay, let this is the object. So the distance from this point up to pole, okay, as we have studied earlier that the all the measures are all the length is measured from pole to the object, okay. So the distance of the object from its pole is called as object distance. Let this be the object and this is the pole, so this we can term it as u. In short, it is object distance is termed as u, and the distance of the image from its pole is called as image distance. Then if this is object, then its image will be formed in at this side or the right side. So this distance, that is from pole to this point, this is, we can say that it is v, okay, in short, image distance, okay. So the distance of the principal focus from its pole is called focal length, okay. So let me erase first, let me erase one. So this is the mirror, let this be the, this is the mirror, okay, and this is the principal focus, okay, thoda sa हिल गया, principal focus, okay, this is the principal focus and this is focal length, this is principal focus, and this is P, that is pole. So this is pole and this is principal focus. So the length between the principal focus and pole is called as focal length. We have studied in the previous video, okay, it is focal length, that is f, we can term it as f, okay. Then the relation between u, v and f is called as mirror formula, okay. So all the relations between this focal length, the image distance and the object distance, so this all is in this, the relation between this all is called as mirror formula, okay. This is mirror formula and it is expressed as 1 by v plus 1 by u equals to 1 by f, okay, where u, v and f are to be used according to the new Cartesian sign convention. Okay, we have studied earlier about sign convention. Okay, so this formula is valid for all mirrors. It means plane mirror, spherical mirror, okay, all types of mirrors. Then this formula is valid for all types of mirrors. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's solve a question. If an object is placed 10 centimeters from a convex mirror, okay, if an object is placed 10 centimeters from a convex mirror of radius of curvature 60 centimeters, then find the position of image. Okay, so it is given that, okay, it is given that object distance, if object is placed, it means u equals to 10 centimeters, u is equals to 10 centimeters, and from a convex mirror of radius of curvature 60 centimeters. Okay, so sorry, so object distance would be minus 10. Okay, if we have studied that the object is placed in the left side of that mirror, then the measure of it will be minus negative. Okay, in the sign convention. So now convex mirror of radius of curvature 60 centimeters, it means given that r is equals to 60 centimeters. Okay, it is 60 centimeters. Now we have to find focal length. In the previous video I have taught that r is equals to f by 2. Okay, sorry, r equals to 2f. It means radius of curvature is twice the focal length, so f will be equals to r by 2. Okay, so what is r? 60 centimeters, and by 2 it is, then the focal length is 30 centimeters. Okay, so as we have studied earlier that the focal length of a convex mirror is positive and concave mirror is negative. So so as it is convex mirror, then the focal length is 30 centimeters. Okay, so let's move ahead. So we have to calculate the position of image. Okay, let's apply the mirror formula. Okay, so that is 1 by v plus 1 by u equals to 1 by f. Okay, so 1 by v plus 1 by u equals to 1 by f. So we let's substitute the values of u, v and f. Okay, so we don't know the value of v. Okay, we have to find it. So 1 by v plus 1 by u is minus 10. Okay, so minus 10 plus equals to how much? 1 by 30 centimeters. Okay, as it is focal length. So 1 by v equals to 1 by 30 centimeters minus of 1 by minus 10 centimeters. Okay, so 1 by v equals to 1 by 30 minus of 1 by 10. Okay, then it is obtained that 1 by 30 plus 1 by 10. Okay, so the answer is 4 by 30. Okay, so 4 by 30 is equals to approximately v equals to, it means, okay, sorry 1 by v equals to 4 by 30. This means we have to calculate the value of v. It means v equals to, it will become 30 by 4. Okay, v will become, if we reverse it, okay, it is the reciprocal of v. 1 by v is the reciprocal of v, and 4 by 3 is the reciprocal of 30 by 4. So if we reverse it, v equals to 30 by 4, it is obtained. So it is approximately 7.5 centimeters. Okay, approximately 7.5 centimeters. So the image position of image is 7.5 centimeters from the pole of the mirror. Okay, let's move ahead. Linear magnification. So what is magnification? We will study. Magnification produced by the spherical mirror gives the relative extent to which the object is the image of an object is magnified with respect to the object. Okay, it is expressed as the ratio of height of the image to the height of the object. Okay, so the magnification is represented by m, and the formula of magnification is hi by ho. Okay, it means if it is hi is the height of image and ho is the height of object. Okay, it means, and now it in this magnification we can substitute the hi and ho as minus v and u, it means magnification can be negative of image distance divided by object distance. Okay, negative of image distance by divided by object distance, it means minus v by u. So it is the important case that it is the rule of the magnification. So if magnification is equals to magnification is equals to 1, then the size of image is equal to size of object. Okay, it means hi equals to h0. And if the magnification is less than 1, then the image of the height of the image is less than height of the object. And if the magnification is greater than 1, then the height of the image is greater than height of object. Okay, clear? So let's move ahead. Let's solve another question. Okay, an object is placed at a distance of 12 centimeters in front of a concave mirror. It forms a real image 4 times larger than the object. Okay, 4 times larger than the object. 4 times larger than the object. Calculate the distance of the image from the mirror. Okay, so an object is placed at a distance of 12 centimeters. Okay, so let me write first what are given. Okay, फर्स्ट हमेशा याद रखना जो जो गिवन होता है पहले उसको लिख लें, ताकि हम क्लियर हो जाएं कि क्वेश्चन में हमें क्या निकालने बोला है जब हम कंफ्यूज हो जाएं तो. ओके, सो द ऑब्जेक्ट डिस्टेंस इज 12 सेंटीमीटर्स एंड it forms a real image 4 times larger than the object. Okay, if it is real image, then if as it is real image, then its magnification will be minus 4 times larger than the object. Okay, minus 4 and magnification is minus 4, and as we have studied that real image and inverted image is, then the sign of magnification is minus, and if it is virtual and direct image, then the sign of magnification will be positive. Okay, it is to remember, it is okay. So it is the magnification is minus 4. Okay, and we have to calculate the distance of the image from the mirror. Okay, so let's put the formula, that is m equals to minus v by u. It is the formula, or sorry, u will be minus 12. Okay, as the image, it is object distance. Okay, so let's substitute these values. So m equals to minus v by u, so we don't know the value of minus v, so let it be, so let it be as minus v only. Okay, so let it be minus v, okay, as it is, and the value of u is how much? Minus 12. Okay, minus 12, and magnification is how much? Minus 4. Okay, so the magnification is minus 4. So let's solve this. It means this minus minus gets cancelled, so we get v by 12, that is equals to minus 4. This means v equals to minus 48 centimeters. Okay, it means the object is formed from minus 48 centimeters from the pole of the mirror. Okay, so clear how to calculate the distance of the image from the mirror if magnification and object distance is given, or we can, or if image distance is given and magnification is given, we can calculate object distance also in similar manner. And if object distance and image distance is given but magnification is needed to be calculated, then we can do this similarly. Okay, we need to substitute the values of given statement. Okay, let's move ahead. So identification of mirrors. So we have to identify the mirrors. So how to identify mirrors? It is plane mirror or spherical mirror or convex mirror, concave mirror, or what? How to identify the mirrors? So the first case is, if the image formed is of same size, then the mirror is a plane mirror. Okay, if the object is, if the reflection of an object is forms a mirror image which is of same size of object, then the mirror is plane mirror. And if the image formed is diminished for all positions of object, then the mirror is convex mirror. Okay, if the object is diminished, okay, it means point sized, if for all positions, then the mirror is convex mirror. And if the image formed behind the mirror is longer than the object, then the mirror is concave mirror. If the image found behind the mirror that is the last case of the concave mirror we have studied earlier, that is the image forms behind the mirror. So if the image formed behind the mirror is longer than the object, we have studied earlier that the image was little bit larger than the object, then the mirror is concave mirror. So these 3 points is to be remembered, that is needed to remember to identify the mirrors. Okay, let's move ahead. Refraction. In the previous video I have taught that refraction of light. What is refraction? Change in the path of a light as it passes from one medium to another medium is called refraction. Okay, so the change in path of a light as it passes from one medium to another medium, and this term is known as refraction of light. Okay, so when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Okay, so if this is the mirror, this is the normal. If this is the light ray, it is medium, it is rarer medium, and it is denser medium. Okay, so this is rarer medium, this is denser medium. If it goes in this direction, so the light ray, if sorry, let me check. Okay, let me erase it and draw it properly. So this is the incident ray. It is rarer medium, it is denser medium. Okay, so this is incident ray. So when this incident ray travels from this direction and gets incident at this point and refracted, it bends towards the normal. So if we extend it normal, so it bends towards the normal, it means the reflected ray will be in this direction. Okay, and when it travels from a denser medium to rarer medium, okay, let this be denser one, okay, and this be rarer one. Similarly, this is normal. If it moves from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from the mirror. Okay, this means this direction will be this. Okay, it is angle of incidence, it is angle of emergence, not reflection. Okay, sorry, it is angle of refraction. Okay, not reflection, it is refraction, angle of refraction. Okay, so these are the basic laws of refraction. So now let's move to cause of refraction. So what is the cause of refraction? Why refraction occurs? So we will study. As speed of light is different in different media, it is lesser in denser medium and higher in rarer medium. So when light enters a denser medium, its speed reduces and it bends towards the normal, and when it enters rarer medium, its speed increases and bends towards away from the normal. So if we take the consideration in if about the air or vacuum, there are no particles, so the speed of light is maximum in that region. And let's talk about some solid objects, that is glass or something else which is transparent, which can reflect or refract light. Okay, so let us take simply water. In case of water, so when the light ray passes from water, as water contains too much particles in it, so the light ray gets refracted towards the normal. Okay, so as we have studied as rarer medium to denser medium, when it comes, it bends towards normal. Okay, so when the light ray enters the water, then it bends towards normal, and when it passes through water to air, then it bends away from the normal. Okay, okay, let's take an example. If we take a spoon and put it in a glass of water filled with water, then we can see that the part of the spoon that is in the air, it is it is as it is, but the part which is inside the glass, it is little bit bent towards the normal. Okay, or towards little bit bent. Okay, so this case is known as cause of this case is also referred as refraction. So let's move to refraction through a glass slab. So this is the refraction through a glass slab. Okay, so it is glass slab ABCD is a glass slab, and this is the incident ray, this is normal. Okay, this is normal, this is incident ray, and as it is rarer medium, as we can see air is rarer medium and glass is a denser medium, then it bends towards the normal. This is normal, it is reflected ray, it bends towards the normal. So, and as it is denser medium and it is rarer medium, so it travels in from denser to rarer, so it bends away from the normal. So this is normal and this is emergent ray. Okay, it is not reflected ray, it is emergent ray. This incident ray, this is emergent ray, and this angle is known as angle of emergence. So E is equals to angle of emergence, okay, and I equals to angle of incidence, R is equals to angle of refraction, okay. So what is lateral displacement? Okay, lateral displacement, if let this be the, in the case this be a simple glass, okay, it means the light will be passing through the same direction, okay, light will be passing through same direction in this direction, but as it is a glass, it gets refracted in this direction, it gets refracted in this direction, and emerges in this direction. So the distance between the original direction and the refracted direction or the emergent ray, this is known as lateral displacement, okay. So it is clear that what is incident ray, what is refracted ray, emergent ray, angle of emergence, angle of refraction, angle of incidence, lateral displacement, okay, it is all clear. Let's move ahead. Laws of refraction. So there are basically two laws of reflection. So first one is the incident ray or reflected ray, okay. It is in the case of laws of reflection, it is reflected ray, okay. So sorry, yeah, it will be refracted ray, okay, it is refracted ray, it will be refracted ray, okay, refracted ray, okay. So sorry, थोड़ा लिखने में गलत हो गया, it is refracted ray, okay. The incident ray and the refracted ray and the normal to the interface of two transparent media at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. It is similar to somehow similar to the first law of reflection, so it is easy to remember, okay. And the second one is, or the important one is, that the ratio of the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction for light of given color is constant for a given pair of media, or it is also known as Snell's law, okay, it is known as Snell's law. And the second law is expressed as sin I by sin R equals to a constant, okay, and this constant of proportionality is known as refractive index, okay. So it means sin I by sin I equals to sin I by sin R, okay, it is sin R, it is sin R equals to is a constant, okay, it's not a variable, it is a constant, okay. So the sin I by sin R is a constant, so the constant of this proportionality is known as, it is referred as refractive index, okay. It is clear, laws of refraction is clear. So let's move ahead. Refractive index, the extent of change in the direction, the extent of the change in the direction that takes place in a given pair of media is expressed in terms of refractive index, okay. The extent of the change in direction that takes place in a given pair of media is expressed in terms of refractive index. So it is the symbol of refractive index, okay, it is, let be this be rho, okay, it is rho, let this rho represents refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1, medium 1, okay. This is the medium 1, this is 1 and 2. If we write this in this form, it represents that refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1, okay, when light is going from medium 1 to medium 2, so it is expressed in this form, okay. That is refractive index with respect to medium 1 with respect the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is equals to refractive index in medium 2 divided by refractive index in medium 1, that is equals to sin I by sin R, okay. If the refractive index of a medium is considered with respect to vacuum, it is called absolute refractive index of the medium, okay. It is termed as absolute refractive index of the medium, okay. So this is the absolute refractive index of the medium. So the absolute refractive index of a medium is simply called as refractive index, okay, or it is simply called as refractive index. For glass with respect to water pair, then it is termed as the refractive index of glass with respect to water is equals to refractive index of glass with respect to air divided by refractive index of water with respect to A, okay. W is the sign for water, G is sign for glass, A is sign for air, okay, air or vacuum, it can be anything, okay. So this is the refractive index of glass with respect to water, that is equals to refractive index of glass with respect to A, that is air. divided by refractive index of water with respect to air. Okay, so let's move ahead. Refractive index and speed of light. So what is refractive index? Okay, let's move. We have studied what is refractive index. So the refractive index of medium is equal to the ratio of speed of light in vacuum by or air to the speed of light in the medium. So it is represented in this form. Okay, refractive index equals to speed of light in vacuum or air divided by speed of light in medium. Okay, the symbol of speed of light in vacuum or air is C, and speed of light in medium is any medium is V. Okay, so refractive index is equals to C by V. Okay, if the refractive index is if the speed of light if the speed of light in medium, any medium is given, then we can calculate the refractive index of that medium. Okay, so let's move ahead. Let's solve another question related refractive index. So the light enters from air to medium, sorry, air to diamond with respect in refractive index 2.42. What is the speed of light in diamond? Given speed of light in air is 3 into 10 to the power 18 meter per second. Okay, light enters from air to diamond with refractive index 2.42. What is the speed of the light in diamond? Okay, we have to calculate the speed of the light in diamond. The refractive index is given, speed of light in air is given, so we need to calculate the speed of light in diamond. Okay, let's solve this question. So refractive index is given. Okay, so symbol ठीक से नहीं हुआ. It is the refractive index, that is 2.42, and speed of light, that is C equals to 3 into 10 to the power 18 meters per second. Okay, it is the speed of light and this is refractive index. So as we all know, refractive index, that is rho equals to refractive index, sorry, let me erase this one and write it properly. So refractive index, that is refractive index, अरे यार, let me write it properly यार, माउस में ठीक से कभी नहीं होता है. So this is refractive index, that is equals to, refractive index is equals to C by V, that is speed of light in vacuum or air divided by speed of light in that medium. Okay, so in this case refractive index is given, that is 2.42 equals to, C is given value, that is 3 into 10 to the power 18 meters per second. Okay, it is given, that is divided by P. We have to calculate the value of speed of light in diamond, that is V. Okay, this means we will get the value of V equals to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second divided by 2.42. Okay, 2.42, this is the value of velocity of or the speed of light in the diamond. Okay, so it is somehow approximately 1.24 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Okay, so this is the question related to refractive index. If in this case, if the speed of light is given and velocity or the speed of light in diamond is given, we can similarly calculate the refractive index in this same manner. Okay, let's move ahead. That is the last topic, principle of reversibility of light. Okay, when the final path of a ray of light after any number of reflections and refractions is reversed, the ray of light retraces the back the entire path. Okay, so and this is called as principle of reversibility of light. Okay, in class 8 we have studied that the white light emits 7 colors, in that is rainbow color, that is Vibgyor. Okay, when passes through a prism. So in in the chapter the human eye in the class 10 physics or it is given that the principle of reversibility is represented clearly. Okay, let this be the prism. It is the light ray or the white light, then it gives red color. Okay, it is in form of Vibgyor. Okay, so it gives 7 colors. The white light gives 7 colors when it emits 7 colors when it passes from a prism. So if we put a prism in similar manner but in reverse order, it means this is the prism in this manner and this be the prism in this manner. Okay, when these light rays, when the white light passes through this first prism, okay, this is prism 1 and prism 2. Okay, so when it passes from prism 1, it emits 7 colors, that is Vibgyor, and when these 7 colors passes through the second prism, it retraces the white color and gives out the same white color, that travel from infinite to this prism 1. Okay, so in this manner this light ray retraces the same path that was before. Okay, so this is known as the principle of reversibility of light. Okay, so when it so let's revise it. So when this light ray passes through first prism, it emits 7 colors, that is Vibgyor, and when these 7 colors again passes through the second prism, it emits the same white color. Okay, so this is known as the principle of reversibility of light. So आज का वीडियो यहीं ख़त्म करते हैं. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग. अच्छा लगे तो सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, लाइक कीजिए और शेयर कीजिए.